Hey friends, so today we are going to do a fun little project using this bamboo cutting board and this little wood crate from the Dollar Tree. And so first I'm going to paint them both with regular acrylic paint in linen color by Folk Art. I love this color and it goes on so smooth and nice. I think it looks really nice. So I will first give this top a first coat, then I will paint the crate the same color. And after I get them both painted, then I'll give them a good dry and then paint the edges and the back of the bamboo cutting board. And then give the top coat a second coat. And I've used this crate before on something else, so I had a piece of paper on the back, a little scrapbook paper. That's okay, it won't show, so that's where I will be gluing it onto the board. So I'm giving it a good dry, and then off camera I finish the rest of it and give a second coat on the top. So it's all dry now. I'm using some Folk Art white chalk paint. And I'm just getting a little bit on my brush and then I'm dabbing it onto some paper towel. I just want to kind of dry brush a bunch of white stripes and spots on there, just random. I just like this look a lot. And then I'll do the same to the crate. Make them match and look the same. Just very little on your brush at a time. Now I'll give those both a quick dry, and it didn't take long because it's very little white paint on there. Then I'll sand them slightly to just smooth it out and make it blend and rough up the edges a little bit. Just get some paper towel now and wipe off any dust that's on there. Make sure it's smooth and clean. Now I'm going to take a stencil that I got from Temu, and I'm just using the top image part of the branch and leaves and the little bird. And I'm using my burnt umber apple barrel paint. I'm just putting a little bit on my parchment paper underneath. And then I'll use my little stencil dauber that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I get very little on my brush, and then I'm dabbing that onto my paper towel as well. And then I go over the stencil just in kind of circular motions until I get that whole image filled in. And you don't want too much on your brush or it will bleed underneath your stencil. So I just keep doing that process until I can tell that it's all been covered in, filled in. And I'll just pull that up carefully and give that a quick dry. I love these heating tools. They dry things pretty quick. So that's what I've got so far, and I think that looks so cute. Now I've got this little wood bird that I've had in my stash, so I'm going to paint him the burnt umber as well. And then I will use a baby wipe to wipe it off, and then it looks more like a wood stain. And then I'll put a little bit of the white on the bottom of his belly to make it look like a lighter belly. But then you'll see later in my project that I changed my mind on the bird, and I'll end up dry brushing a lot more of the white paint on top of him. But for now, that's what I'm doing here, just kind of using the baby wipe again and having his belly a little lighter. So I set him aside. And now I'm going to use my Kiehl's dark sealing wax and a dauber, and I'm just going to go around all the edges of the wood crate. Just make it look weathered and distressed, and I'm going to do the same thing on the cutting board as well. And then I'll also use a baby wipe to blend that in too and soften it. I'm going to do the same thing on the wood board. And I mostly focused on the sides and the top because when I glue my crate on the bottom won't show. So just making it match the crate. I like that dark edges. It kind of defines it and makes it look more weathered, and I really like that look. Now I'm going to hot glue some floral foam that I got at the Dollar Tree inside my crate. And now I'm going to put lots of hot glue on the back of my crate and glue it onto the bottom of my board and make sure it's flush with the bottom so it stands up nicely. Next, I'm going to put a big handful of Spanish moss in, so I'm just going to hot glue that in there so it stays. Make sure it's good and filled in and covered. After I get this hot glued in, I had to get a new glue stick, but after I get this little bit hot glued in there, then I will trim it up so it's not hanging over too much. And as I trim it up, I'll turn the box over, kind of shake it out. The loose pieces will fall out. Now I'm going to put some greenery in it. I've got these boxwood leaves picks that I got at Walmart. I use these in a lot of my projects, and I think they're so cute. So I'm just sticking them ends into the styrofoam. Some I'm going to hot glue in. And I've also got a few sprigs of eucalyptus that I'm putting in random spots as well. Just filling in the whole crate, and there you saw me wind a long piece of hot glue string. Just wind it around my fingers and it comes off. Needed a few more, so I'm just going to stick them in and glue them in. Make sure they're good and secure in there. Just making it nice and full in there. Just about finished with that, and then I'm going to put my little wood bird on. Looks so cute already. Okay, this is where I'm realizing the bird just blended too much. It didn't stand out, so I'm dry brushing more white on top of it. And then he shows up more when I put him on the crate. Then I'm using a little dot of burnt umber and an old pencil, so I just stick the eraser in it. Just put one little dot for his eye. And then as I go to glue it on, I'm using little glue, hot glue and E6000, and having a little trouble there. And I actually stuck my finger in his eye, so off camera I had to redo. I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked, so I had to put the bird on off camera. So sorry, I had an important text come in and it just distracted me. So now I've got these darling little drawer handles that I got on Amazon, and so I'm just gluing it on there. And then I have this little tag that says Love at Home, and so I'm distressing all the edges with my distress ink and dauber, making it look grungy and kind of old. And then I will punch a hole in it and use some twine. And then as I'm doing that, I'm remembering that I made a different tag that I wanted to use that says his eye is on the sparrow. And I wanted to keep with this bird theme. So there's my little tag. So I'm redoing that process, distressing this one too and punching a hole, and then I will tie it onto that little drawer handle. And it just kind of ties the whole bird thing in. And I love that phrase. God is always watching over us. He is always aware of our needs and our goings on. Just tying it and having it kind of hang at an angle, tying it in a bow. And that is it. I think it turned out so cute. I love it, and I hope you do too. I hope this inspires you to make something similar, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.